Hello, listeners and viewers. My name is Mambo Feka, coming to you today with a podcast. It's a series of discussion around principles of success. But before I start, I'll always want to start by reminding all of my viewers and my listeners that autism is real. Autism is not as a result of witchcraft. Autism is not the curse. It's not a curse from the gods. Autism is as a result is related to a brain development. It could be avoided through intensive care and early intervention mechanisms. And of course, historical figures, personalities, presidents, rich men, great inventors are among those persons who have been diagnosed with autism. Together as a nation, as people affected, as families, as parents, we could make the difference by coming together to support autism. And that is why I am going to collaborate with Prison Watch Sierra Leone to ensure that we lead the fight against autism. That being said, today I'm coming to you on a very different topic. And today's topic is titled Principles of Success. Today's podcast starts with a question. Why are some people more successful than others? I think the answer is simple. Because they have mastered the principle of success. Because success itself is a principle. It's a law. And if you know it, then definitely you will not have a problem. Today we are living in a world where, some people have got massive success and some people are struggling with their daily lives. And people work endless hours to make ends meet. And some people even die with great talent without realizing their purpose of being born in the world today. For you listening to me, success is not rocket science. Success as a principle. What learning, what researching. But not many people really have the time to research. And therefore, I have actually placed myself in the position to be coming to my listeners and my viewers, sharing with them what I have learned so far. Let us start by exploring what is success. There are so many definitions of success, so many. But for me, I have been inspired by the definition given by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of the greatest motivational speakers in the world. And he said, according to Jim Rohn, success is the simple disciplines observed every day over a period of time. Simple discipline. If you practice 5 minutes a day to do press up, over 5 years, definitely you will have a unique body structure. The simple discipline. And he also said the opposite of that is called failure. And he said failure is the few errors in judgment. Few errors in judgment that we do every day. Few errors. These are not the big things. These are just a few things. Imagine if you are saving just $1 a day, $1 a day, in 1 week you're going to have $7. And if you multiply that by month, by a year, and for 5 years, you do the math. But let's say you spend $1 a day on cigarette smoking. $1 every day on cigarette smoking. You are going to spend $7 a week. Do the math, and you know exactly how many cigarettes you are going to smoke and the cost implication. The few disciplines that we normally neglect cost us so much. And I think I really like that definition. But then success is actually based on principles. And in my interaction, in my lifetime, I have been able to come up with certain principles of success that is not different from what successful people have actually encountered or actually practiced. And success itself is not rocket science. It just needs commitment, dedication, and discipline. I mean, the key word itself is discipline. And some of us, myself included, we do not have this. I mean, some people are financially indisciplined. Some people have social indiscipline. Some people are indisciplined in other aspects. But some people are so disciplined. And the result of their lives is as the result of the discipline that they practice every day. And some of us, our failures are not as a result of witchcraft or the intervention of our village people. They are the result of the few judgments of errors that we neglect, that we practice every day. But as I have said, success is a principle, and learning those principles are so important. The first principle today I want us to start with is the principle of goal setting. Goal setting is so important. And without goal setting, you are going to be misguided, because your goals guide you. Your goals provide inspiration. And it's so important because your goals it's like a compass that guides you to your success. And we have so many goals. You have family goals, financial goals, personal development goals, health goals. What's your health goals? What's the family? I mean, there are so many goals. So goal setting is the key. You have to set your goals. Without your goal, definitely it's going to be very difficult. Success is not about what you have. Success is about becoming what you can become. What do you want to become? That's the question we must answer. You want to become a lawyer, a doctor, a businessman, a writer, a film actor, president, a professor. I mean, you can become the greatest inventor of your time. But you have to start by identifying what you want to become. That's number one. And number two, when you have identified what you want to become, you have to ask yourself, how fast do I want to be what I want to become? How fast do I want to achieve and implement my goals? It's so important because time is a factor. For some people, they will say 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. But I will not advise you to have a long-term goal. To set yourself to a very long-term goal. And the third question you have to answer: what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Because success is not easy. If it was so easy, everybody would have been successful. It's not easy. It requires energy. It requires smartness. It requires some real sacrifice. Some people will say it requires hard work. But then my concept about hard work is a little bit different. But why time is so important? Because the time we give ourselves to achieve certain things is exactly within that time that we can achieve it. But it's also important that when you set goals, your goals have to be realistic. They have to be time-bound. They have to be measurable. It's so important. It's very important we set goals today. So, you listening to me, start by identifying what you want to become. What do you want to be? What do you want to become? What is your goal? What do you want at the end of 2024? What do you want to be? You can set up a financial goal. By December 31st, how much do you want to be in your bank account? You need to identify that first. That is a goal. It's so important that we set that goal. And when you set your goal, you have to start working on your goal as if it's a matter of life and death. Act with a sense of urgency. If you want to be a businessman, act with a sense of urgency. In fact, I have adopted a principle of death ground. When I commit myself to do something, my principle is, look, it's like my back is against the wall. It's like, I do not have time. I want to pursue it. And I'm going to pursue it with every energy. Goal setting is so important. And let's set up a few goals here. Let's say, for instance, 20 leones, in Sierra Leonean currency, probably that is about $2. If you develop a discipline of saving 20 leones every day for 7 days, you are going to save 140 leones every week. And you are going to save 560 leones every month. And you are going to save 6,720 leones every year. And in 5 years, you will save 33,600 leones every 5 years. That's about 33,600,000 leones in the old leones. And that is the lifespan of a particular that's the political lifespan. 5 years, every 5 years, we do elections. Every 5 years, if you say if you develop the discipline of saving 20,000 leones, every day, that's a discipline. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. because you're going to be distracted. You're going to see things you want to buy. But it's about discipline. If you develop the discipline, every day I am going out there. I want 20,000 leones. I am going to save 20,000 leones every day. In 5 years, you will be having 33,600 leones in your bank account. That is, it's not inclusive of your job, just 20,000 leones per day. It's unfortunate that a lot of us, we do not have even 100,000 leones in our account. I mean, it's not magic. These are just basic, simple laws. Goal setting. It starts with setting a goal. What do you want to be? What do you want to become? And how far, what's the time budget is important. And what are you willing to sacrifice? As for me, I have actually set myself to a particular goal to raise money for autism patients in Sierra Leone. I want to be able to raise at least $1 million in 6 months. You can say it's a lofty goal. Oh, is that possible to have $1 million in 6 months? Oh, sure, yes, it's possible. It depends on what you are willing to sacrifice. It depends. We can start by setting goals today. If you can start by setting goals today, and remember, success is not something you pursue. If you pursue it, it will elude you. Success is something you can attract. I mean, brothers and sisters, it's good for us to have men. You see, unfortunately, in our society today, we do not have so many role models. It's important because, there are certain things, there are certain little things, little discipline. Just, start by teaching your children, have a job. I mean, one thing I learned about the Jews, people accuse them of being rich. But then I have learned that the Jews teach their children about saving. They have this 10% philosophy. Every child, the first thing they start teaching their children, saving. 10% of their earnings should be saved. Are struggling families. And we are coming from a country, a situation where poverty is the order of the day. But we can turn that around by starting with setting goals. Goal setting is important. And remember, success is not something you pursue. Success is something that you attract. And also remember, the few disciplines that you should be doing that you are neglecting results in your failure. Success requires effort. It's not easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would have been successful. Everybody. That tells you it's not easy. It requires sacrifice. It's unfortunate that so many talented people came to this world with full potential to contribute, but yet they ended up going back to their maker without all of us benefiting from their potential. For you listening to me, we can change that. We can start by setting goals today. So law number 1 is setting goals. We have to set clear goals. Your goals have to be time bound and when you set your goal, you have to work with a sense of urgency. Work your goals as if your life depends on it. That takes us to rule number 2. Attitude. Success is about attitude. Your attitude determines your success. But if you want to continue to benefit from this program, subscribe and share. Next podcast, we are going to look at attitude. But let me still leave you with the saying, with the information that autism is real. It's not witchcraft. It's not a curse from the gods. They are just unique personalities. But with intensive care, with early intervention, they have hope. Great inventors, professors, rich people, presidents have been diagnosed with autism. As a father of an autistic boy, I want to lead the campaign. Autism. I am not ashamed of my son. I'm not ashamed of saying to the world that yes, my child has autistic problems. But I want you to know that he is progressing tremendously. And it could be averted. It could be minimized if we intervene early with intensive care, with love, with understanding and empathy. Next law, attitude. You want to hear more? Stay tuned, subscribe, and share. Thank you.